Hello, young or old here, and welcome to my channel. Now, I've never been interested in politics, but there's a certain few things going on now which, you can't really ignore. Watch the intro and find out. As I mentioned, I am not now or ever have been interested in politics. I think most politicians are only in it for themselves. And I don't think they realise that they're actually supposed to work for us. They get paid by us, the taxpayer. So let's not forget, we are their bosses. And they should do as we, the public, tell them to do so. I'm sure we are all aware of the government testing this idea as making us all prisoners in the area we reside in. They're going to try it out in Oxford, and now there's actually proposed plans for Norfolk, where there are plans afoot to make it easier for everyone to get what they need within walking distances from their homes. In some ways that's okay, but I read where you'd only be allowed to use motorised transport a given number of times a year where you can travel outside your area. I question this number, as you can be assured it will be decreased at some point, and then again as time moves on. Please stick around, I'll move on to bikes shortly, but first just some of my views on how this could impact our safety. Now, my wife works at a care home for residents with learning disabilities, and she works shifts. Some are short and some up to 14 hours long. She loves her job and really does care about the people she looks after. Now, it's not that long of a journey. It only takes sort of a few minutes for me to drive her there. Now, yes, she could use the bus, but it's expensive for such a short journey. In fact, it's only a little bit more money for the entire route of this bus, which is about 15 miles. Now add that to the bus's timetable, finishes before she does, and she's working very late. And to top it off, it don't run at all on a Sunday. Now, the government proposals mention walking or cycling, but it's a long, unlit, dark road. No pavement to walk on, only an uneven, overgrown grass verge that hardly ever gets cut. As to cycling, well, there's a danger alone on this road, as there's a distribution centre halfway along it, so there's a constant stream of HGV lorries that use it. It's just not safe in my book when she finishes probably 11 o'clock at night and it's cold, dark and wet, and I might not be allowed to go and fetch her. So how do I make sure she gets home safely? So, let's now move on to motorbikes. Let's face it, the majority of us bikers, we ride bikes because of the sense of freedom they give us. The freedom to go out for a ride when we choose to do so and enjoy our passion. So let's consider the impact on certain businesses. Now, most of us will go and do a breakfast run where we'll ride off to a certain cafe for some food and drink. It's our freedom to do this, and if it's reduced, it will affect that business. They're going to lose money. When we go on a tour, we will either book several B&B rooms or caravans where we can stay at, which amounts to a lot of money for business owners. We all have to eat, and we tend to go out for a meal every day somewhere. Yes, we use fuel, and although the government pretend they don't want you to use it, you don't see them, to refuse the countless of millions of pounds every year they receive in fuel duty. Now, the idea of having most of our needs within walking distance is actually not a bad idea, and most people would reap the benefits. This itself would decrease the need for us to use motorised transport, which here again is okay. But it's the rules of not being able to go here or there where we want to, having restrictions inflicted on us, taking away our basic human rights and freedom. To live with all these proposed restrictions is not the way most of us want to live. After all, we're a country who chose to be free. Think of all the brave people who lost their lives to give us this freedom. We have to think of all the brave people who survived major conflicts also to give us this freedom. And now that the powers that be just want to take it away from us. People around my age who have worked all their lives and are now looking forward to their pension and being able to do the things they dreamed of doing when they were grafting, only to be now told that we're going to be faced with we can't do it. You can only do it a given number of times a year. Our already overstretched police force will be spending most of their time now enforcing these laws and not doing the job they are supposed to do. No doubt you're going to get tracking systems and number plate cameras will be everywhere, but number plates can be removed and false ones applied, and I'm absolutely certain eBay will be selling lots of devices to jam tracking equipment. Yes, it would be against the law, but here again, who's going to have to enforce it? I'd like to know where all the money needed is going to come from, as they're going to need more schools, hospitals, doctors' surgeries. For every rural area, are the bus and train companies going to lay on extra buses and trains so people can commute? And these buses and trains are just going to have a couple of passengers on to use the service? I don't think so. It will be not cost effective. It's just the same as the reason we have no bus service on a Sunday. It just didn't pay them to put one on. Okay, the government might even hand out grants for this, but who will eventually foot the bill? Yes, us, the taxpayer. Now my car is eco-friendly and I only have to pay £30 a year road tax for it. My stepson's car is tax-free. He has no road tax to pay at all. So he spends no money on tax and not a lot of money on fuel, as it's fuel efficient. So this means though the government isn't getting much revenue from his car. So now the same newer model is now not tax-free. Road tax has to be paid. So whatever the government do, they will still want their cut and finding other ways of recouping their lost revenue. So I have managed to spend my life not interested in politics. But now, I must admit, I've got to keep my eye on these new proposals just to wait and see what happens. Will it cause civil unrest? Who knows? But for those old enough to remember, what happened when the poll tax was introduced? I have now spoken to a few people who had genuinely not heard of these proposals and trials that are going ahead in Oxford, and the general opinion seems to be it will never happen. I just wish I had their confidence. If you have not heard of these plans, please check them out for yourself so you can draw your own conclusions and consider how it could affect you. Just imagine a few of your mates going out for a ride and you have to decline the invitation to join them because you've already used up your allowance on how many times a year you can go out for a ride on your bike somewhere, just like you used to. Anyway, I might say I hope you enjoyed the video, because it's not nothing to enjoy, but I hope you found it interesting. If you do the tips, like and subscribe, it always helps the channel. And as always, take care, ride safe, while you still can that is, and bye for now.